Good afternoon and welcome to Williams Dog Training Company. We're here today with Fred and Chi-Chi, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Chi-Chi's ability to understand and respond to her obedience commands, the corrections and motivations that we give while we're working with her, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot training leash, and he's going to keep the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand, leaving his left hand free to give the correction. And the correction that we provide is a tug and release on the training collar, which is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Chi-Chi's been fitted with her own personal training collar, and we will be sure to show you how to properly put that collar on and use it during your one-on-one lesson. Now, as you can see, Chi-Chi is sitting very nicely on Fred's left-hand side, which is where all of our obedience training takes place. The first command that they're going to demonstrate for you is heeling, and heeling is proper walking on a leash. Fred and Chi-Chi take off doing that now, and the command that you're going to give is Chi-Chi heel, and you're going to simply start walking, and Chi-Chi should fall in line, heeling appropriately on your left-hand side there, meaning she should not be lagging behind or lunging ahead and pulling on that leash, but walking at your pace, whether it's walking at a faster pace or a slower pace. Also, we've gone ahead and incorporated an automatic sit into our heeling exercise, which means every time that you're out walking with her and you stop, she should sit nicely right there on your left-hand side. I'll show you another example. Good girl. The next command they're going to demonstrate for you is the stay command, and it's a hand and voice command. Use the open flat of your left palm an inch or so in front of her muzzle, and the one-word command to stay, and then walk out to the end of your training leash. And then Miss Chi-Chi should remain seated in this position and should not break. This is a command that you're going to want to practice frequently throughout your day to help build up her self-control and maturity skills and enable her to sit and stay for longer periods of time. When you're practicing at home, you want to start at about a minute, and you'll increase your time working up to 3 minutes. When Fred returns back, he's going to walk all the way around, behind, counterclockwise, returning so that Chi-Chi is directly on his left-hand side once again. Great job, and they're going to demonstrate that heel, sit, and stay again. Now, as you may notice in the video, Chi-Chi likes to favor that back left leg there. We've noticed this throughout her training process, and she does have Jack Russell in her, and that's part of a Jack Russell trait. She shows no sign of pain, and when it comes to running, she's right alongside. And she completes all her commands appropriately, even with the little limp there. She's a good girl. Now Fred left her in a sit, stay, and walked out to the end of the leash, and now he's going to demonstrate the come or the recall command. You're going to call Chi-Chi in using her name in a happy tone. She should come in and sit directly in front of you. Nicely done. And we have an exercise called the finish, where you turn her to heel position by heeling her around the back of you, where she comes around to your left-hand side and sits nicely, and they're demonstrating that recall or come command for you again. Leave her in a sit stay, walk out to your end of your leash, give her a moment to hold that sit stay, and then call her in using her name in a friendly tone, where she should come in and sit directly in front of you. Good girl. And then heel her around the back of you, returning her to your left-hand side where she sits nicely. Great job. It's very important to let Chi-Chi know that she's doing a great job completing her commands. This will help keep her motivated to keep doing so. And you can do this by using positive reinforcement, whether you're verbally praising her and telling her she's a good girl, or physically praising her and giving her pets every now and then. You'll see Fred bend down and give her a little pet on the head there, verbally or physically praising her. The next command they're going to demonstrate is the first of our down commands, and this one's the down from a heel position. Again, use the open flat of your left palm, but this time straight down towards the ground, and the one-word command to down. Then before you walk out to the end of your leash, give that stay command again. And again, she should remain laying down the whole time and should not break for the down stay.
No.
Now she broke and got up, so Fred's first words were no. He returns back to heel position and repeats the down stay command. Now I'll practice this command frequently as well to help build up her ability to down stay for longer periods of time. And with this command, you start at around 3 minutes, and you'll increase your intervals over time, working up to 5 minutes for your long down stay. Returning back. Good job. It's also a good time to remind you and a good tip that when Chi-Chi comes home, you want to make sure that although you're generalizing your commands and incorporating them into your everyday activities and your schedule, you should be setting aside about 10 to 15 minutes every day to work Chi-Chi through her commands in a formal obedience session. You also want to make sure that you're working your commands both indoors and outdoors to generalize in both environments. So Fred left her in a down stay out to the end of the leash, and this time we'll demonstrate the come or recall command from the down position where she'll get up to come in.
Chi-Chi, come.
She gets on up, comes on in.
Chi-Chi, heel.
Around the back, good girl. And then this last command that they're healing into position for is the second of our down commands, which is the down from a distance. And for this, you'll leave Chi-Chi in a sit stay and walk out to the end of your leash. And you're going to drop her in a down from the end of the leash using your right hand to give that down command, where she'll go down right there where she's sitting. Good girl. We've demonstrated for you today all the obedience commands that Chi-Chi's learned here at school. It's been a pleasure working with Chi-Chi, and we thank you again for choosing Williams Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainer.